Hey, so I was gonna go. I did try and go live on my backup, but I don't have enough subscribers there to make it count. So thought I'd do it here and maybe get some more people to subscribe over there first. Probably be better. So yeah, that's the plan. Anyway, let's try this again. Hey, what's up, extortion watchers? How are you? Tried to go live a little bit ago on my backup. I don't have enough people on there. So, but so I thought I'd try it on here. Guys, have not subscribed to my backup, please go ahead and do that. Why is it not taking the link? That let me post my link for the chat. That's really stupid. There it is. What's up, Timmy? Not much, SNH. How are you? Hope everyone's doing good. Oh, so it's like it was not so hot today. It was so nice. It was cool. Like there was a nice breeze all day. It was fucking tastic. It was so fantastic. Just wasn't too hot, wasn't cold. It's the middle of August and it's like 80 something degrees. It was freaking ridiculous today. If you don't believe in climate change, man, I don't know what to tell you. So what's shaking with you, Tim? And what about you, Sassanach or Extortion Watchers? How's the audit? How are the audits going, Extortion Watchers? Any cool shit? Oh, nice. Nice. You a Red Sox fan, Tim? I keep meaning to watch that The Last Dance on Michael Jordan. I keep meaning to watch that on Netflix, but I haven't yet. I saw part of it and it was really good. The part I saw, so I want to check out the whole thing because Michael Jordan's an interesting character, and just that whole series was done really well from the one part that I saw. So uh, I definitely want to check that out. Nice, very nice. You want to come on and tell us some of your plans? What you got? What you got in store? Any surprises? Did we convince you to go audit a park and get them squirrels? Come on, George Waters. I know we convinced you to do that, right? No, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's undisclosed. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I was on there. Only like one person showed up, so I decided to come over here. I don't know what's up with that. What's up, Noli? So Noli knows I have some potential good news. I'm not going to share it yet, but I have some potential good news for the channel. I want to get some more information on it and get a better understanding of what it is before I share it. Oh, you didn't get a notification? Well, that's weird. That's really weird. But if you join the Discord, you also know that Rogue Nation Someone suggested that Rogue I should what was it? I should um school Rogue Nation on the poster 7, right? And then so today I get there's a message from him saying I'm ready to be schooled. I'm like, damn, okay, whatever. So then I responded to him like, well, shit, I love to have you on. So hopefully we'll be able to get something together to get together. I think that'll be awesome. I love to have him on. I mean, he's already been on Sancho's channel, so you know. What's up, Source Watchers?
So
How are you?
I've been pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I need to fix your audio. Hold on. How do I do this?
My audio is low.
No. It's like on my. It's oh, hold on. Can you say something again?
Hi. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you, and I think everyone else can hear you, but it's on my phone and not through my headphones. That's really weird.
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
I think it has something to do with when I did the live stream, all the audio was coming through my phone, and it's for some reason it's back up on there. It's so weird. Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it. What's up? Hey, Vet Tech. Diver, what's up, man? How are you today, sir? You guys didn't get a notification. Source Watchers, did you get a notification?
Yeah, I got a notification.
Okay. Who else didn't? Who got a notification? Because a few people didn't. Corpus Christi, what's up, man? Texas, probably hella hot down there. So you can't give us any kind of clue of where you're gonna go audit.
No, I can't. Well, the
It's not
thing is, I'm scared somebody's gonna like call and let them know.
a office, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be a surprise. But it's not in Omaha. It's not in Omaha.
Okay.
So
We traced the calls. The squirrels are in the house. So Cars Musing got one. So if I found Texas got a notification for both channels. Okay, cool. That's okay, Assassin Ash. It's no worry. You don't got to go. I mean, you don't have to join the Discord as long as you come on here and visit us every once in a while. We're all to the good. You don't have to do the Discord. What about you, Extortion Watchers? You do Discord?
no.
Oh, okay. You could. You should get your own little Discord going. I'm sure your all your followers would love to get that and get some contact with you and stuff. Be a good way to keep in contact with them. Just a thought. Or maybe get a Facebook page if you don't already have one.
Yeah, true that.
Just or Twitter, or whatever. Just some sort of social media. And you can really get some stuff going. And oh, that's right, the intense interview of the top. That's right, guys. Thursday looks like I'm gonna be on the Taco Hut, and he's gonna hit me with his best shot. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take it, guys. Taco, he puts it down. I saw what he did to Shiva. I'm scared. So what did you guys think of the music? Did the music fit that video? Did the video music fit Glenn Roachman? I thought that fit him just perfectly.
Yeah, I didn't watch the video.
Oh, you didn't? Oh
No, I
man, the music
didn't.
perfectly. It was like called Roachman, and
Oh, really?
it fit in perfectly. I thought, oh, this. I was proud of myself when I put that together. I'm like, you know what? This fits in perfectly. Of all the songs that I've done, that when I do an auditor, this one is by far the best fit for an auditor. What's
Oh,
up,
yeah.
Master?
I got the notification. I was just busy when you posted it, and I forgot about it. So
Oh no, it's all good. No worries. Extortion Watchers, meet Nasty Nate. I don't know if you watch his channel, you should check him out. He's freaking awesome.
yeah, I think
Nasty
I.
Nate got Extortion Watchers. He does some good stuff too. He is a fellow auditor. He does some good work, and he also respects both sides of an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So check him out sometime.
Yeah, my YouTube channel, I'm not going to be like posting all the time on that. It's just going to
No,
be whenever I have a video to post, I'll post it,
got it.
you know.
Exactly. That's good. I'm gonna go ahead and post it again just in case somebody wants to show up. Yeah, so, hopefully I'll have Rogue Nation on at some point. And then, like I said, I'll have more information on what I want to share with you guys. But I'm not going to do it yet until I get some more information. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be, it's going to be cool. I think if it all goes the way I hope it goes. And that's really all the news I have for right now. Nasty Nate, what about you? What are you up to? You got anything you can share with us? What do you got coming up? You got some big stuff coming up. Search Watchers, have you ever would you ever do you have any group audits planned for up in the near future?
No, not really. I
No.
mean, I don't really believe in like all the get-togethers. I mean, like, I just do it for the sake of filming. I mean, like keeping everybody safe. I don't really like, get into the game of it.
Okay.
I only film with News Now Omaha's because he's cool and he's also local, so it's easy.
Yeah, I got you. Tim, I don't know if all beefs have been squashed. I haven't really been keeping with a bunch of beefs. Um, yeah. Charles Musings, welcome.
Thank you.
Doing all right. How are you today, sir?
Oh, not good.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
We had to put my dog down last Friday.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I mean, the poor girl was suffering, and I just couldn't let her go.
Mm-hmm.
It was selfish, but what can I say?
Hmm. So Nasty Nate said he recently did some audits in Washington State. Oh, did you run into the Glen hole? He's in Washington, right? Or is he? No, he's in Oregon. No, he's in Washington. Yeah, he's in Washington. You just stay away from Portland or Seattle. That's where Glenn is. You don't want to. You'll get a bad name. Him. We don't want that for you, Nasty Nate. Nasty Nate wouldn't work. Nasty Nate would probably slap the piss out of Glenn if he saw him.
Halfway through an audit.
He probably slapped the piss out of him. What's up, Joe? Yeah, Noe brings up a good point. Have either of you guys seen the bomb that went off in Beirut?
No.
When?
Yeah, news. It was like a week ago almost now. There was a big bombing, and uh, at first, I'm not sure what they think now, but at first when it went off, they thought it was just like explosions that happened in the building, and it wasn't set on
Oh.
fire. Anybody's fault. But at the same time, when they said that, they also said I think the prime minister or someone ended up saying whoever's responsible will be, will have held up for the thing. It's like, well, wait a minute. If you guys thought it was an accident, then who's going to pay? Like like the manufacturers of the products that blew up. I mean, what are you guys talking about here? It's either it was an accident or it was deliberate. Which one was it? They didn't. The stories.
I've had bombs went off in several other countries.
Yeah, just some crazy stuff. Glenn is still walking home from Portland. Maybe Nasty Nate passed. Are all the feds still investigating Glenn, or did they let him off with a tickle in his tummy? I don't
Oh,
know.
God.
I don't know what's going on with that.
That's a lot of tickling.
Yeah. Meteor shower tonight. Best time to watch is between midnight and 2 a.m. Ooh, that'll be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, right, Nolly D. That was a crazy that explosion. I watched it. It was you guys should check it out. Just YouTube search Beirut explosion. You'll see it. It's amazing, and I think something happened. I think someone set it off. I believe it was done on purpose. And who did it?
How many
No.
died?
I'm not sure. Does anyone have the number on how many people died or were injured in the Beirut explosion?
I'm afraid I don't.
Somebody in the chat knows. Oh, I talk about the 300K hope. Jeez,
Oh,
that's
my God.
a lot. So 200 are injured or died at the moment from the explosion. That's pretty bad.
That's a lot.
So
Yeah.
there's a clip that Noli's putting up if you guys want to check it out. Yeah, it was pretty bad. If I hope if someone did cause it, they catch them quick, because people shouldn't be doing stuff like that. I'm just happy here in the U.S. we don't have too many instances of this type of thing happening.
Oh, yeah.
Just thank God we don't. But it, it, we do when we do. They're pretty bad. Like the Boston Marathon or 9/11 or Timothy McVeigh with the Oklahoma City bombings. Just we do have them happen, and I'm just glad around the world they don't happen as often.
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
maybe they're just not reported, sort of thing. I mean, who knows? I mean, um, there could be stuff that's these. There could be a lot of these instances that are just underreported. We just don't. What's up, Jarhead? Damn, still digging out the rubble. All right, so Starbird says explosion was due to the storage of ammonium nitrate.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
2,700 tons of explosive in a warehouse for almost 3 years that wasn't shipped out. It couldn't have been a secret. Gee, that's a lot. Yeah, there's
yeah.
no way it could have been a secret. They knew. They just forgot and just assumed, damn, ain't that a bitch. Fuck. Gee. What's up, Kimber? How's everyone doing today? Hello, Josh Tim. He really does sound like freaking Josh. That's so funny. Same thing that happened in Texas City. Wow, so that happened in Texas City? Texas City. In a Texas City, or is there a place called Texas City? It would surprise me if it was. Again, Fire News, South Carolina. Never heard of you, but hey, what's up? Are you an auditor, by the way? I'm just curious. You have an auditor type name, so that's why I'm asking if you're an auditor. And if you are an auditor, hell, even if you aren't an auditor, would you like to come on up? I'll post the link again. Source from Watchers is a fellow auditor if you are. Oh, we've got Nasty Nate in the chat. Patty is not a good person. Patty should have been in jail for the many laws he has broken. Last week. Yeah, did you notice like under this year, Josh does look like he's aged quite a bit just in the year that I've been covering it. He has aged. I think he's got some stress going.
I can't imagine why.
Right? I finally did see the video where Glenn was walking home. I didn't get through the whole thing because he's being an idiot. He was talking to the cops. He's like, you messed up. You're sitting in my car. Fuck you. Blah blah blah. But okay, so I fast forward to see him walking, and I have to give it to Glitterbug. Glitterbug was egging him on, saying she'd come pick him up. Oh, I thought that was hilarious, and he kind of believed it at first. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, they're trolling the shit out of him. It was hilarious. The journalist audits are the outcome of me practicing my rights. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. We can do that. No problem. So, as a photojournalist, Dragonfire, what are your thoughts on post office audit?
Me?
Oh, I'm talking. I know you'd be like yours. Dragonfire. He's a photojournalist. And I was just throwing up in chat, and I was figured with a name like that, does. So I thought I'd ask him about it a little bit. Oh, Nolini knows about him or her. I'm sorry if you're a female. My bad. I just don't even know. Oh no, it's a guy.
Check. How's it going? Dragon T with Dragonfire News, South Carolina here.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man.
And I missed your question because I was jumping to StreamYard. What was you saying about post offices?
Okay, what is your opinion on when people go and conduct their audits at post offices? How do you feel about that?
I conduct audits at post offices, and I always practice and do business as I go there, because if you're going to do an audit or film in public, you might as well have a purpose to be there.
Okay, I understand that.
To accentuate or just filming in its own right is not a violation of the law, right? But if you're just going to go there and hang out, I can see how that makes people nervous, but at the same aspect, it's not against the law either. So, and as long as you state and establish that you're a news journalist gathering content for a story, there's not much they can say or do. I actually have a video on my channel where I had 8 officers not necessarily surround me, but arrived for me at the post office, and I refused to be trespassed. The sergeant came about an hour later and said, "Leave him alone. He has the right to do this."
Okay.
So
Tim Berry asked this question. This is for you. He wants to know, why do auditors feel the need to cuss towards people when they are members of the press? This is an extortion one, by the way.
Well, I mean,
I refrain from cussing. I do not cuss. I don't agree with some of the people's that out there doing it, using vulgar language. If you're out there to spread a message and educate people, you need to do it the right way without being kind of a jerk, if you ask me. But that everybody has a right to their own method.
As long as I'm respectful, I'm okay. I mean, I never cuss at anybody. I don't know why they do it. I have just as many answers as you guys do. But, me personally, I don't really cuss at people. Like when the officer told me to turn around, I'm under arrest, I turned around for him. It's just.
Okay, now when you talk about you go down there to conduct business, are you talking about like you do like what Auditing America does? You go in there, you buy a stamp, or perhaps you are going to mail a letter, or do you just go to these places when you have business to conduct, or do you go there and conduct business while you're filming? You know what I mean? What do you do?
Yeah, I will do like what's the name does, buy a stamp. So I'm conducting business. It gives you more of a reason to be there, and to establish you were conducting business. You do have a receipt. They can't discriminate against you for filming because it is a public lobby and it is covered by law. Anybody with a camera is press. They don't have to have a press pass to be press. The United States Constitution, First Amendment states that the freedom of press, anybody that can disseminate public information back to the public is considered press. It doesn't matter who. The most famous video ever recorded was a private person, the assassination of JFK. If that person, private citizen, wouldn't have filmed it, we would have never seen it, right?
True.
So So anybody with a camera can be considered press.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I do see what you're talking about on there, but then there are those that will argue with you that the laws in the wording in poster 7 and even the CFR based off of the letter DHS says that you are able to film otherwise it's what security protocols
Okay.
rules
All right.
or something, right?
Let me stop you right there. The Department of Homeland Security memo. Have you ever heard it or read it?
Sorry
That's
to
what
interrupt.
exactly
All
what
right.
Gonna
Basically, that is just a short section of the Department of Homeland Security, and it states in its operational readiness order 0. Here, I got it right here. Hold on, I'm trying to get it out.
You are aware that only applies to certain federal buildings, not all.
Any federal building with a publicly accessible area, you can film.
Wrong.
Yeah,
I
that's
what it
got it right
says.
here.
Anything public.
Anything videotaping intentionally the interior, exterior of federal facilities protected by the FPS to include individuals expressing their First Amendment protected rights by intentionally photographing and videotaping the exterior and interior of federal facilities and law enforcement in the course of their duties to test the FPS law enforcement and PSO's response.
All right.
Now,
The key words in that are protected by the FPS.
right now,
Is the
police.
post office protected by the FPS? Is the
Yes,
Social
it is.
Security Administration protected by the FPS?
Technically, the police have no jurisdiction unless they have explicit written permission from the postmaster or the federal people to conduct their arrest there.
On that
They
point
technically,
too.
huh?
You're wrong.
I'm not. The police technically do not have the right to arrest somebody on federal property. It has to be a federal officer.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately for you and everybody else that tries that, the majority
Rogue Nation
of
tries
your
it. He
post
does it all the time.
offices in
Rogue
this
Nation gets
country
away with it
are
all
on
the time.
rented property, are they not?
Did you hear me? Rogue Nation gets away with it all the time. He even has gone as far as getting the actual statute and code for it that they have to have it.
Yeah, it's called the Code of
Rogue Nation
Federal
rights
Regulations. And if you read it, it says conduct on post office property.
I'm pulling up poster 7 for you guys right now.
Well,
Got it all. I've even got internal memos, but that's all right. Nobody wants to believe what I post, so do it at your own peril.
poster 7 and the DHS both say that there are limitations to when you can film. I mean, you agree there, correct?
right. But expressing it cannot be impeded because it is your right. So
Let me finish. I let you finish, so please let me finish.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, so there are limitations to it, and those limitations are if the security tells you you can't film in a certain location, correct? That's one of the limitations.
Right, but they can't determine what location it is because it states what locations I can film in on the wall, poster 7.
No, okay, but that is true. It does put where you can, but it says you can film in these locations unless it's a security risk or any rules or policies or regulations or a court order say that you can't film there. So if
I don't work for the post office. I don't have to follow their policy. I follow law, and their policy does not apply to me because I'm not an employee. And if it has to have
excuse me, Dragon T, can you see the private chat?
No, I can't.
All right, I'll put it. Can you see the YouTube chat?
Okay, except we're prohibited by official signs or security force personnel, other authorized personnel, a federal court order or rule. Now they have to have a statute to go by to follow that up with.
Do you know the difference between a code, a regulation, in a state
law.
statute?
Yeah, and it's a law written right there on the wall. Dude,
That's not. No, it's not.
Hey,
That
and
is
it also says on the wall that
Yeah.
poster 7 may not overwrite any federal rights that we have.
which is DHS memo, operational readiness order, says I can do it intentionally. So if the Department of Homeland Security put out a memo saying I can film in public areas intentionally, then that basically means I can't get in trouble for doing it. As long as I'm not harassing people, making a scene, and if you watch my videos, I don't harass people. I don't get loud. I don't talk to anybody unless I'm spoken to. So if you want to sit there and try to say that, yeah, I agree some auditors get away with some stupid stuff, and I don't act that way.
Okay.
But I don't consider myself an auditor. I'm a photojournalist gathering content for a story to disseminate to the people and to educate people on their rights. So you take it how you want to take it, and I'm taking it as long as I don't violate the law. I cannot be trespassed from a public property doing
bull crap. Bull.
Doing a constitutionally protected activity.
Okay,
Do you know what the Supreme Court of the United States is?
Yeah, I know what the Supreme Court of the United States is.
And
I also have the right to assemble
do you know
in
that
public.
they have
and not as long as I don't break the law. And if I'm in order to be considered loitering, I have to have no purpose. And as long as I'm filming in public, is my purpose. I know the law, dude. Trust me.
Yeah, well, you keep going, and you'll be collecting you'll be collecting material for your next incarceration.
Okay. That's why I spoke to the chief of police today, and went in and do FOIA request and do all my investigation like I'm supposed to. I mean, there's ways around everything, man. And as long as you follow the law, they can't do anything to you.
Have you ever heard of the phrase,
I'm not an entertainer, man.
All right.
Right now, I'm following a story where the city manager in the city of Anderson, South Carolina, gave special permission for the police to violate an ordinance 56-5-2530, stopping, standing, or parking were prohibited during bar hours to show a presence of force. And they're parking up on the center median, and it's a violation of the law, but the city manager gave him permission to do it. So I do go out and try to make change with the public officials. I'm not an entertainer. I do try to disseminate real news.
You do realize.
Do me a favor real quick. Do me a favor, okay? We're not, no one's trying to attack you here, okay? So just take it down a notch.
I was just reading chat. Sorry. I don't mean to rant.
I'm sorry if it feels like you're being attacked, but that's not what you came on here to attack me.
Hey,
so.
I'm sorry. I get loud because I'm deaf in one ear and hard of hearing in the other, so I project my voice. Sorry.
It just kind of sounded like you were getting a little irritated and you thought you were being attacked. I just wanted to assure you, no one's here.
That's me talking. Sorry. I'll try to lower my tone.
All right, I got a question for you. Are you on Discord?
Discord? What's that? Apparently not.
You don't know what it is. It's not worth telling you. But how about this? Have you ever heard of a site called fanclub.com? FAANCLUB.
No.
I just go in there and looking into the document section.
Right.
You'll be surprised to learn that just because it's a public space does not mean you can't be trespassed.
Well, yeah, but in order to be trespassed, you actually have to violate the law.
Oh, I mean, you do not. If you have no business there that they are conducting within the premise, they can tell you to leave. If you refuse to leave, you are defiantly trespassing.
I'm gathering content for a story. That is business. As long as I'm not
not to the people that are operating in the building that you're in.
Excuse me? Here, I've seen this word
if
arm
you
against the
cannot
press, right?
articulate, if you cannot articulate the story and you just go in, oh, I'm gathering content.
I don't have to articulate.
Yes, you do. You expect them to. Oh, okay. What happened?
Well, that's the fun thing, Morgie. Neither do they. Neither do the police. The police don't have to articulate their probable cause until you're in front of a magistrate or judge.
Exactly. But the thing is, right, that if he wants to go in there and he just says, I'm here to content for a story, and he doesn't have the correct permissions, and yes, they can kick him out. It works out very, very simply. It's, if you ask permission, you'll get everything that you want. If you go in there and cause a problem, and the bottom line is that the Poster 7 does not allow you to film in the business area. It's all right with the mailboxes and stuff like that. It's a business area. So, and if they tell you to kick rocks, you kick rocks.
Good evening,
Hello.
Teresa.
Hey,
Hi.
Teresa.
Thanks for having me on the panel.
No problem. Dragonfire he actually get it out. He didn't leave on purpose, so I'm gonna send him the link again so he can come back on. Just remember, he did. We all have different opinions with him. We know this, but he did come on the panel, so let's try and keep it. At least
Kenny,
yes,
this is the first time I've ever been exposed to him, so I haven't even seen any of his material. I'm just going by his statements.
Me neither.
Well,
I've never seen he's done either.
The last thing any of us want to see is him getting arrested. Even if he's never been arrested before doing this, there's going to be that cop that's going to come along and know better, and, I'd hate to see that happen, but I don't know that we're going to change his mind.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see anyone get arrested out there either. Now, like I said, I don't agree what he's doing when he goes out to the post offices. I personally don't think he's reading the Poster 7 the way it was intended, and I think because it just keeps getting put out that way, that it's just misinformation, that people are just buying it, and the courts are just going with it now. And
he's getting it from somewhere, and he's buying it, So yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's Rogue Nation who's been getting his information from. So there alone, you've got major disinformation. Yeah,
unfortunately, it's a terrible rumor that you have to break the law to be trespassed from a public building. That's not true, and you can be trespassed from the post office.
Yep. Yeah.
It's probably, whoever has the greater control can trespass you. So
yeah. And another thing with the trespassing thing, I mean, especially now in the days of COVID, when most businesses, government businesses are closed and they're not accepting the public, you can get trespassed when you're going on the property when they are not actually accepting members of the public. And I don't think a lot of these auditors realize this. Like, they go to the police stations, like they get pissed off because they don't let them in. Well, they're not accepting the public. So what makes you think you're special enough that they're going to let you in, sort of thing?
Can I ask, NJ, do you remember the post office putting out a memo about First Amendment auditors by chance?
Yeah, how many times? I've got two different copies.
I was going to say,
years.
That would probably be an interesting resource to refer to in this regards, because it tells, the postal employees how they're supposed to interpret and handle these things,
They're not supposed to handle them at all. They're supposed to ignore them to a certain extent, and depending on the behavior of the quote-unquote photographer, handle it by calling the local law enforcement. Which is exactly what they do. And
did you know, actually, if they lock the doors during business hours, it's actually a fire hazard.
If there's no one there in the quote-unquote public area, they can lock their doors and they can go out another exit.
Gosh, Kenny, what you doing?
I was trying to send let Dragon know that he can come back. Sorry if you guys heard that.
Yeah, you did. I guess you did. You either booted himself or you booted him accidentally.
I didn't boot him. Yeah, I think he said he accidentally left. I sent him a link so he could come back, but he's not coming back, so I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, your microphone's picking up your keyboard.
He said that
Yeah.
he doesn't curse and is not disrespectful, so that might have something to do with him not getting trespassed, or them being a little bit kinder to him than maybe someone like Minnesota Guardian, who's not always very nice in the post office, if you know what I mean.
Okay, I'll post a link, Dragon. You're still here. Sorry. I thought I posted it, but I'll post it again.
Yeah,
I don't know
well,
what's going
if he comes back, direct him to the private chat. I just posted, was it 3 different decisions here? Yeah, 3 different SCOTUS decisions.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I mean, I always like it when auditors decide to come up. I have more respect for the auditors that do come up on channels like this, like Sancho's or yours, Teresa, or Shiva's or whoever's. I have more respect for the people that do that than the ones that don't, because at least they're trying to bridge the gap. They're trying to explain, to us. I mean, maybe we don't always agree with what they say, and we're not always, they're not going to change our mind. We're not going to change theirs, but we can always agree to disagree because I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I do respect the auditors that do come on, so I just definitely want to say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and opinions do change, though.
This is true. I mean, maybe sometime we could change his opinion. I don't think we'll change his opinion on this, but I mean, who knows? All right, Dragon, welcome back.
All right, no problem. I apologize. I was trying to back out of the chat and I backed out completely. I hit leave instead of the chat.
Okay, so my next question for you would be, now we're going to change subjects. I want to talk about all the racism that's going on your guys' side of the thing, not just with Glenn, but you have Furry Potato who's doing things. A few other auditors are doing this. Now, I can't.
Like I said, I'm not an auditor.
Let me finish.
I don't go to do an audit. I go to disseminate information personally.
Okay. Let me finish.
I started off in Des Moines, Iowa, as a First Amendment audits, and that's exactly.
Hold on. Give me a chance to let you. I'll let you explain. Just let me finish what I'm going to say first, okay? Sorry to mute you, but I need to get this across. So my question would be: is how do you feel about? I mean, I don't know if you have said anything about any of these situations. If you have, I apologize. But if you have, why haven't you? And why do you think auditors in general are steering away from this sort of subject?
What subject's that?
The racism, the homophobic remarks, just all the negativity that some of these auditors are.
I think it's disrespectful. I try to be a little respectful, but granted, like some people will say, it's not against the law to be disrespectful. I mean, granted, the way I see it, you get treated with the respect that you give. And if you come at me sideways, I'm going to come back at you sideways. I mean, granted, there are people that don't like what we do, but what I do is try to disseminate information. Now, I'm sure everybody here knows the nationwide insurance, right?
Yep.
And 2016, Nationwide was charged with $5 million paid out to 2.5 million customers for private information breach. I could go down to the downtown street, stand on the public sidewalk, and film the computer screen from the public sidewalk. You wonder how they got the private information breach, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I posted that video. I got harassed. I almost got beat up by the security guard because he didn't like the fact that the cop told him I didn't have to leave because I was covering a story about the private information. And even after the cop left, he still harassed me.
You were inside the building?
No, he was outside the building on public property, following me around everywhere I went, telling me I was beneath the ground that that he walks on. I mean, just dogging me. And I got him fired. As far as I know, I did anyway. His company said he did. And a month later, they had tinted windows, and the security guards don't approach people on public property no more. So when I go out to do something, I go out to actually pick a story, cover it, and not finish the cover and go on to another one until I covered the story. And granted, sometimes when I go do it, like the post office, my first one was an audit, and I didn't like the experience because of how many officers was there. But I also made them research the law, and the two sergeants agreed with me and told them to leave me alone.
Okay,
And
what's the story when you're going out to? What story are you covering when you are auditing a post office? What is the story?
like I said, usually I go there for actually because I have a business. When I go to post office places like that or government buildings, I don't just go in to do film. I go there with purpose and film my interactions. That's what I do. I don't go out and pick a place and say, this is where I'm going to film. I'm going to film here and see if they respect my rights to film in public. I don't do that. I go to do a story. If I see cops violating the law, then I pick that story and I go with it. And if people pick up on my channel, they pick up on my channel. If not, then I at least know I feel good about disseminating the information to the public.
Okay. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Now I have a question that might sound a little silly, but I think it's right. It's I can ask this.
Look, I take constructive criticism just as good as good criticism. I mean, if you can't, then you ain't gonna learn and get better at what you do.
How many people on your channel, or for that reason, how many people in the world do you think really want to see a news story about somebody how to buy a stamp?
Oh, that's more like I said, that's more about me because everybody can blog, and if you're in public, as long as you're not violating the law, they can't stop you from filming. It's a constitutionally protected activity. And
so going there to conduct business.
Blogging, I'm filming. When I go there, I'm documenting the public employees' interaction with the people, whether I have a camera or not. That's what I'm there for as far as that goes. It ain't about whether I have the right to film in public. It's a matter of me filming the interaction with the people with the public. And how they treat me, and if they treat me with respect, if they're doing, and then I also read the ratings to determine if the ratings are good or bad. I mean, like I said, you can watch my videos. I do some cop watches, which is basically disseminating, and a lot of those are happenstance. I don't sit there and listen to a police scanner and follow cops around. If I happen to pull across one that seems interesting, I'll pull over and film it. I filmed a traffic stop that led to a meth bust. Probable cause open containers. I mean, that's in.
What state are you in, if you don't mind my asking?
North Carolina.
Okay, thank you.
I started in, I've only been doing this for about 10 months. And I started in Iowa, and I got 4 or 5 police officers ticketed for parking in a no parking zone. And in the same area, that one other person that was filming in public got arrested and lost his court case. I went and filmed in the same exact area and nobody bothered me. Even talked to the public information officer about a story that the reason I went there to the police department was to get information about a guy that went into the public library and doused himself with gas and set himself on fire. I went to try to get information about it, and the public information officer was like, my question was, what charges would he be charged? And blah, 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 blah. And he said, like, none, he's dead. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Okay, so this question would be, all right, say, I'm going to give you a what if scenario. Let's say you're at a post office, you're filming, and I'm there. I come up to you, and I'm like, hey, look, man, I see what you're doing, but I just really don't want to be in your camera. Are you going to be one of these auditors that says, I don't care, I can do what I want sort of thing, or are you going to respect my wishes?
If you come up and ask me nicely, I'll try to keep you out of the camera as much as possible. And my problem is right now, I'm not computer savvy, real computer savvy at all. So I haven't learned how to edit videos quite yet. So all my videos are raw videos. You see what I film. And I think that's the best way to disseminate information, because then nobody sees the edits and say, well, what did he cut out? What was he doing before that? You know, I don't edit my videos. I let everybody. And if people want to critique my work and give me shit, I take the good with the bad. Like I said, I don't try to go out there and create problems. I go out there to find out a story and I stick with it. So, I mean, you guys take it as it is. I mean, like I said, I consider myself a journalist and a photographer.
Sure.
Granted,
So I want the rest of the panel here for a second. All right, now I myself don't have an issue with cop watching or auditing if it's done in the right way.
right.
So I know you don't worry about it either. But what about the rest of the panel? Diver and Morty, how do you guys feel about auditing or cop watching? Are you guys against it as a whole, or are you okay with it in certain instances?
I personally think, that, in the beginning of people auditing things, it was more about natural reactions that they would actually get. And now I think it's turned into more of a show. It's dramatized, and it doesn't really teach people how they really need to behave when it comes time for them to be maybe subjected to police when they're out just taking photographs in public, if that makes any sense. Because, for the most part, there's not a lot of people that go, I mean, bear with me, there's not a lot of people that go into the post office and film what's going on there, but, there are people that will take pictures out on the street or what have you and can be accosted by police in the same sense. So I don't know. I think they've gotten a little carried away with it. I think there's a place for cop watchers, though. I don't know that that's going to change anytime soon.
Okay, Morgie. I don't think Morgan's there. What about you, Diver?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
NJ,
just
what
do you think about are you against auditing as a whole, or do you think that there's a place for a time, a place, and a manner for it?
What's the location you're considering?
Just any location, just auditing in general.
Well, to tell you the truth, auditing as it stands right now is a risk to your becoming a statistic in the NCIC.
Morgie?
And for those that the National Crime Intelligence Center.
Yeah, I think I agree with NJ. I think it's getting out of hand. It's kind of like a new sort of entertainment, and it's going to end up as a domestic terrorism. I think
it already is. It already is, Morgie.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, it will end up being more cited more.
Okay, how do you guys consider somebody exercising their rights? Granted, I understand some of them are getting out of hand with certain places, like going to churches and stuff like that. There's no reason to go to a church to audit. I don't agree with that.
There's no reason to go to a post office and audit either.
Like I said,
domestic terrorism comes in whenever you have literally hundreds of people calling a public entity and shutting down their phone lines, etc., etc. That's where domestic terrorism comes in.
All right. Now, as auditors, Dragon and Christian watchers, as auditors, how do you guys feel when you hear members of the public say things like this? That it's not necessarily you or your actions. I mean, we don't agree with how you do post office, but honestly, I don't think any of us have seen any of your videos, so we don't know how you conduct your audits. But how do you feel when members of the public are saying this to you without even they're basically judging you off of
other people's actions? Is that what you're trying to say? That's where I think that just like the police are being judged by all the other officers' actions. But then again, if you look at the letter of the law, before I go out, even thought of going out and picking up a camera and filming in public and filming public officials and police in the course of their duties and doing this, I sat down with a lawyer for 6 weeks and covered every base that I could think of. I have every law written down, every statute, every code that I could think of that I could possibly be charged with while I was out filming. And a lawyer signed off on all of it and said, as long as you state this, 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 and this, and this, and you follow this book that we wrote, you should have no problem.
That lawyer did not tell you, sir, that you cannot be trespassed unless you commit a crime. There is no way in America.
Show me that statute. Read the statute for trespass.
Well, NJ just posted it back here. He posted all of the Supreme Court rulings that prove what I'm saying is true, sir.
And the Supreme Court ruling is not absolute.
Okay? Exactly.
It is not, which means
it is until they change it.
No, see, the Supreme Court also has rulings that are, depending on the ruling, there's other aspects to it. If I'm not breaking the law and I'm conducting a constitutionally protected activity, which is considered, huh?
No,
that is not true.
Ask Mexican Padilla about that.
Well,
there are literally dozens of people who audit, who have been arrested, auditing inside of post
9
office,
times out of 10 the cases get
and
thrown
who
out.
have had to take deals and settle with the state because they were at fault.
Well, I won't be at fault. I won't give them the reason to make me at fault.
Okay, so
you already have. You've just proved that you don't understand the law.
My question: why is there no case?
I understand what you guys are trying to say about these cases, but there's also other case law that proves that you can't be trespassed from public property without violating the law.
Yeah, maybe in California, not where I live.
Cases going both ways, and that's why it is. It's a mixed thing right now.
Cite one, sir. Cite one. NJ has 5-6 cases back here for you.
I'd have to look them up again because I don't have my book here with me.
Excuse me. Do you live in California?
Huh?
Because you better, because that's the
Carolina.
only state where they say you can't be trespassed without committing a crime, and even that is in the gray.
Where?
California.
No, I'm not in California.
Well, then you're at risk.
But I've actually talked to the chief of police and several other sheriffs and to question them about the laws. I've talked to the lawyers, and they've all say it's like you said. It's a gray line, thin gray line, and it's all based on case by case basis. And as long as you know what I mean, if I'm up there yelling, screaming, and cussing, I expect to be trespassed, and if I don't leave, I'd be arrested. But if I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm abiding by the law, acting as any other normal citizen, and going about my business, filming, whether I'm, like I said, 9 times out of 10, when I go to a public place, it's to conduct business. I don't just go there to film. So if I can film conducting my business, and they can't trespass me to conduct my business while filming.
Excuse me, Teresa, do you know Ian's YouTube name?
I just went to the South Carolina DMV and recorded my interaction getting my new driver's license transferred from Iowa to South Carolina, and Officer Trahan actually went and investigated it because I had to go back and reschedule. I went back. They tried to tell me but they weren't going to serve me. And Officer Trahan came and stated the case law that says I can film government officials in the course of their duties while conducting business.
DMV is a non-public
non-public forum.
What's that?
A DMV is a non-public forum, a non-traditional public forum. So therefore, he is wrong.
It's
The,
public
the
forum.
thing is, if they will tolerate it, they'll tolerate it. I have a DMV not far from me, and yeah, it's written right there on the wall that you can't record within the building. And yet I had an individual go in there and do it, get into an argument, and was not necessarily escorted out, but the police officer followed the individual wherever they went. That same individual tried it in a Social Security Administration and was ushered outside. And by the way, in the lobby, actually in the vestibule of that Social Security Administration, there were two signs, both forbidding any recording, whether it be with a camera,
Policy.
a video, or a phone, in two different languages. And the reason I know is out of the fact I've
Is there
been there,
a
she
law
also
behind it?
filmed the damn things.
That's policy, though.
With a law or a code behind it, or just a pretty sign?
Okay, couple
It's
things first.
called the Code of Federal Regulations.
Okay, I want to interrupt here.
And it was written on there. If it's
People
written
that-
on there, there is actual code written on there that of the states I would be violating the law.
Yeah,
I'm
is
not
there
going
like
to
a
do
law
it.
under it?
Exactly.
Okay,
If there's a law on it, like that's like going into a hospital and going into a restricted area. You're not supposed to be in the hospital with a camera anyway. There is a law on that. So that is a code. There is a statute against it. There is no statute against videotaping in a public building, such as the DMV, the courthouse, the police station.
Oh, yeah, you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez,
you go and try to videotape in a.
you really
The
don't know the law.
non-traditional.
You really
It's a
don't.
non-traditional public forum.
Courthouse.
Okay,
Most
That's public
courthouses,
forum.
most
Yeah,
courthouses
sure.
let you in with a video camera.
real quick, guys. Okay, Dragon. People have been asking what your channel is, so real quick, say
It's
your channel.
Dragonfire News, South Carolina. I don't know how to post a link.
Okay, so it's Dragon what?
Dragonfire News, South Carolina.
All right, so there's that. And Extortion Watchers has something to say. Everyone was like really talking at once, so he didn't get a chance. So Extortion Watchers, the floor is yours.
All right, I'm
Well,
taking.
if it's only policy, then policy is not law. But if there's like a law under it, then
Well, how's this? Most municipalities in this country haven't been exposed to this yet, but I know of two that have changed their ordinances to the point where they have created non-public forums on all of their properties. You are no
well,
longer allowed to record on any of their properties.
well, it's not because of me. So
Okay, are you saying like government official buildings? Like, tell me what buildings you're talking about, because no government owns buildings. It's the people's buildings. I mean, they do not own the building. No independent person owns the building. The government doesn't
Do you
own it.
understand that? Do you understand that the people hire and elect people to control those
Yeah,
buildings?
and those people are
We
supposed
put
to
them
follow
in charge. We put those people in charge of maintaining decorum inside of those buildings, and they get to set the rules inside of those buildings.
Have you ever
Subject
heard
to
of
time,
the?
place,
They
manner,
can set those
and
rules inside those buildings as long as they don't violate the Constitution.
Hey, how's this?
well, the
Have you ever heard of
Constitution
a
doesn't
case?
let you
Constitution is the law
do
of the
whatever
land.
you
Nobody
want, sir. The Constitution does not allow you to do whatever you want inside of a non-public forum, inside of something that is not a
All right,
traditional
if
public
it's
forum.
owned by the public, if it's a public building, it is public forum. There is no non-public forum and public forum. It's public.
That's
It's
not
public.
true.
It's private,
Excuse
it's
me.
private.
Excuse
That's
me.
not true, sir. You cannot walk inside. You cannot walk inside of someone's office. You couldn't just walk inside of an office in the mayor's office and just start filming him. Do you think that you could do that? I mean, it's inside
That
of the
is his
public
office.
building.
That's a different. That's not considered a public forum. That's a restricted area. And so any area that's considered restricted, you can't walk in into film. You guys are trying to put
And
this
they can certainly
non-public and
restrict
public
it
we're
from
forum.
being
speaking.
filmed. They can
Excuse me.
certainly
We're
restrict
speaking
you from
facts.
having a
Restricted
camera
area, you
there.
have every
They
right
can
to film
restrict you
anything
from
you can see from
filming.
public eye.
They can
You cannot
restrict
Teresa,
you
film
from
we're
anything
filming
wasting our
as
live.
long.
time.
As long
Okay,
as they do it across the board, sir.
hold on. Everyone's talking over each other. One's getting a chance to speak. So, Dragon, when someone's talking, please wait until they're finished, and the same goes for everyone else because no one's point is getting across. People are starting to get frustrated, and we don't have that now. Dragon, I think what a lot of people are trying to get over to you is you just said it a minute ago. The office wasn't a traditional public forum, right? Now you do realize that a post office is not considered a traditional public forum either, right?
If it's open to the public and people have the right to go in and do business there, then it's open to the public as access to the lobby. If I go into the lobby, I have the right to film inside the lobby.
Well, it's not
But
a private entity.
you're failing to see that it's not traditional. It's not traditional forum. I mean, you just talked about an office that's not traditional forum, right?
Okay. All right. The lobby of a post office is considered public. It's not private. And you can't designate it. It's not a restricted access area. You can film anywhere that is not restricted access. It even states that in the law.
As long as they don't have a rule against it.
Excuse me a moment. Are you aware that in
9 times out of 10,
Kenny, he's not listening. He doesn't want to abide by the rules of the forum here. So how can we expect him to even understand forum analysis?
See, that's the thing. I just think he feels he came on here, he knew he wasn't his voice was gonna be kind of soft, but just dude, you can relax. No one's attacking you here. Yes, everyone here has an opinion, and their opinion is a little different on yours, but you're not listening to what we're saying. You know what I mean? You're like glossing over it. You're not understanding that where you're going to the post office or when you do the DMV. I don't know if you do DMVs or whatever, but it's not considered a traditional. It's not traditional public forum. And when it's a non-traditional public forum, they can set limitations on it because you do know your constitutional right to film in public is not absolute. You do know that, right?
Okay. You guys keep using the word traditional and non-traditional public. Okay, if it's public to film. If it's restricted public area, you can't film. Is that what you're referring to when you say traditional and non-traditional? Because
we're talking about something that SCOTUS set up years ago. It's called forum analysis. You are limited by time, place, and manner in your expression of your First Amendment rights. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand that. And that's why I don't spend a lot of time when I go out and film. It's always, like I said, conducting business.
Okay.
So
and that's you're not sending the place part of that. It's time, place, and manner, right? Place. So you can't just go in and do like Teresa was saying, the governor's office. You can't go into certain parts of certain buildings. You can't go into the courthouses, courtrooms, sort of thing like that. A post office, it even says that in the Postal 7 and the DHS memo that the policies can tell you not to do it. And it doesn't just say security policy. It just says policies. They can say, if a guy comes up to you and says, hey, we just don't want you filming here, and it's somebody that works there, they can do that.
The fact that they don't leads him to believe that he can get away with it anywhere he wants. He'll find out the hard way like many others have. And by the way, how far are you from Punta Gorda, Florida, Mr. Dragon?
I don't have no clue.
Well, look it up sometime and do yourself a favor. Don't carry your camera into their municipal building because thanks to, I forgot his moniker again, this gentleman by the name of Ian, they now have created by resolution and ordinance non-public forums within all of their municipal buildings.
Like municipal as in courthouses or any
as
like
in
city hall?
Municipal buildings.
City hall.
All
police
They can't do
station.
that. They have to allow people to come in and we have every right to film and record the public
don't.
officials in the course of their duties.
Yeah,
No,
not
go
inside
ahead
the
down
building.
there and go ahead down there and film and see what happens to you.
You
Yes,
can't do
not
it inside the building, sir. Not inside the building. That's not
Well,
a traditional public forum. Traditional public
So you're
forums
saying
include
I can't go
sidewalks
into a
and
city hall?
parks.
You're saying I can't go into a city hall and film me filing a FOIA request?
Not in Punta Gorda, you can't.
You can
And
do
by
it
the
up until
way,
they
it's
ask
not
you to
just the
stop or
building.
ask you to leave.
I'd have a lawsuit against them.
there is, and there is, and they're actually losing that lawsuit. They're trying to fight it, but they're failing.
Well, how's this? Look up Sheets. I can't remember the case. The gentleman's name was Sheets. He went into the Punta Gorda police station and started recording. They have a sign there that says no recording, and they arrested him for trespass, and he lost his case because the judge is there, and then he appealed it, and guess what? He lost the appeal.
Yeah. See, there's got to be.
Yep.
I don't know, man. It's mixed around all around the world, and a lot of the arrests and court cases are what we call retaliation for the cops being filmed in the course of their duties.
Well, guess what? You're beginning to sound like a sovereign.
Huh? A sovereign citizen? Is that
All
what
right,
you said?
so Ian's channel was Hate the State. So for anybody that was wondering
What
what
was
Ian's
it?
state, and yeah, Punta Gorda, man, they passed it. They are fighting it, but they're still a long way off. There was one in Arizona. Was it Phoenix?
It was Tucson, Arizona. Their ordinance was different. Theirs was about cop watching, and theirs was repealed because some celebrity down there got involved, but they're reconsidering it. And actually, if you read through the ordinance, at the end, it actually recognized people's right to record in public. Unfortunately, you had people that were down there in the police station, in the parking lot of the police station, using foul language, throwing insults at the police officers, and pretty much interfering with their duties. That's why they wrote the ordinance.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, by the way, Overland City Park in Kansas also wrote it, but that was over the Fourth Estate pushing it a little too hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, do you know what the Fourth Estate is there, Mr. Dragon?
The what?
Fourth, as in the number 4, estate. Fourth Estate.
No.
You're not a journalist.
Okay. To be consider myself a journalist is to disseminate information from to the public that is considered public information. That's all. I need to be a journalist.
What
In
you
my
consider,
eyes.
what you
You guys
consider
can
a
say
jour-
whatever you want. The journalists I see today take what the people tell them to disseminate to the public, and a lot of it's lies. So I don't disseminate lies to the public. I go out and disseminate what's real and going on out there to the public.
well,
I don't.
at the moment, I can't see how you're doing it because you're going to the wrong people to get the information.
Okay,
I mean,
my lawyer. Okay.
Your lawyer, you need to get your money back from your lawyer because your lawyer is giving you also the wrong information.
Okay, I guess he interprets the laws different than you guys do, and he went to law school for it. How's that?
So did a lot of us.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not a lawyer's job to interpret the law. It's a judge's job.
All right, so you said you also
Actually, a lawyer has to interpret it in order to fight it in the court system with the judge. So
No,
he has
to argue it.
Argue it, which is basically arguing the interpretation of the law, and the judge is the one that makes the final decision. So basically, he is interpreting what his thoughts on the law, and people.
Yeah, Desert. That's about it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys' time, and I appreciate your opinion.
Don't go yet. Don't go yet. I wanted to say something before he leaves. I want to say something real quick because I don't think anybody up here, as maybe as angry as everybody kind of sounds right now, really wants to stop you from recording and and gathering information and stuff.
Let me ask you this.
Let me just finish real quick. All I am really interested in is making sure, you know, that you stay within the law so that you don't get arrested, because I don't want to see you arrested, you know, and I don't know how tolerant they've been so far, but I do understand, and I have been arrested myself, sir, and I have fought these cases myself, and I have fought federal cases myself. So I do understand a little bit about how it works, and I don't want to see you let down in any way, and I don't want to see you in trouble in any way. So I will stand up and back you up for your right to stand on the sidewalk and gather all the information you want and to disseminate anything you want in a traditional public forum. But I don't want to see you get in trouble doing something that's going to get you, you know, in a cage, as you would say, you know, locked up where people can't help you, where you're going to need money.
I appreciate that. And like I said, I don't go out there to try to pick a fight with anybody. And I go out to disseminate information and gather information.
Now I have a question. You said you do cop watching as well. Now, what would you consider? What do you do when you're doing your cop watching? Like, how do you even approach a situation when you are going on a cop watch?
Stay far enough back that I can get as much information without getting into the crime scene. Not bothering the officers, not approaching them until I'm approached. I always give them all the room they need. I got a zoom lens. I can zoom in. I don't go and bother them. I don't try to get in close until they say I can. I mean, it's basically, you know, car accidents, whatever. I've actually only done a couple cop watches, but I like I said, discussed with my lawyer the everything that I should anticipate while doing it. You know, as long as I maintain my distance, stuff like that.
Why do you not do so many cop watches? And do you just find it? Do you think it's more of a, I guess, more of a news story for you to do the I guess your photojournalism that turns into audits as opposed to the cop watching? Or because I mean, to me,
yeah, that's exactly it. My 9 times out of 10, like I said, I gone into the library and filmed in the library only to get paperwork that I wanted printed out. And if I go into a public forum that is considered public and film, it's while I'm doing in business. I don't just go in there to show off with the camera and say I'm here to film because I have a right to. It's not like that. I don't go in there to strut my stuff. If I go to the public courthouse, it's to file FOIA requests and get file complaints against people that I see breaking the law. You know, and if there is an actual code that I could be wrote up for on it, then I think they should be not violating that law either.
Then why not do more cop watches if you feel that way when you're going or doing your FOIA requests and all that? When if you're out to stop the corruptness that's going on in the police force or the government officials, doesn't it make sense to be out there and filming the cops and catching them doing what is wrong? Because let's not get it twisted. Cops do the wrong thing, and it does happen.
That's I just now got a police scanner. 2 days ago, I got a new camera. I've got my car set up to start doing more cop watches, and that's one thing I am going to start doing more. And I just getting all my ducks in order for the most part.
Have you checked your state law on carrying a radio receiving police transmissions?
Yes, I have.
Especially in a motor vehicle?
Yes, I have. You can get it on your cell phone.
Yeah, they have police scanners. I've seen some police scanner apps on my Google Play too.
So excuse me, Kenny. What you just put up was totally incorrect. 148G is strictly California.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. It's not everywhere. That's 148. Just like in Texas, it's something else.
No, Texas doesn't have that law. Texas has case law from the Fifth Circuit, thanks to Botusai.
Yeah. Batusi's, I mean, Batusi changed law in 3 states, I think, didn't he?
The Fifth Circuit.
Yeah, Fifth Circuit. I mean, because it was just, but he was just filming in public. I mean,
he was on traditional public forum, a sidewalk.
Isn't 3802 failure to identify in Texas?
That's it. 3802 is was what I was thinking of. Sorry. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate your guys' input. I will look into more things on, especially those case laws that you put in private chat. I wrote them down.
Jagan, before you go, I want to ask you to do me a favor. And if you're inside of a building and someone asks you to leave, do me a favor and leave, and then sue the shit out of them if that's what it takes.
Yeah,
but don't get yourself arrested. Don't take the ride. You can always sue them later.
That's just it. If under threat of arrest, I will leave. I mean, I'm not going to go to jail under the threat of arrest. But for the most part, 9 times out of 10, I don't get threatened with arrest because I conduct myself in a proper manner the best that I can and try to communicate with the police officers the best that I can. I mean, I've had some interaction, but 9 times out of 10, I have very few videos. I'm just getting started. When I moved from Iowa to South Carolina, there's different laws. I had to learn them. I didn't go just jump right back out there and start filming again.
Well, you sound like a really nice guy, and I'd hate to see anything bad happen to you. So good luck out there.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And to paraphrase the real estate industry, behavior.
Right. All right. Let me ask you guys something about this.
I will say
I have just real quick. I have emphysema. I have diminished lung capacity. I can't wear a mask because of my diminished lung capacity. I'm not on any disability or anything, and I want to work. I have major qualifications to work, but because of this COVID thing and the mask ordinances and the fact that they've made PPE, a mask part of PPE, I've been refused employment upon my medical condition. What can I do about that? And that's something I do plan on recording and getting into and covering.
Why don't you try to find yourself an ADA lawyer and see if there's anything that you can do?
Because I was actually trespassed from a staffing agency because I wouldn't put a mask on. I can't breathe with it. And if I were to get the COVID, if they say it's as deadly as it is, I'm dead because I have no lung capacity. I mean, so and
well,
the fact
maybe a better solution would be for you to get a letter from your doctor and get yourself on disability so that you don't have to worry about working, and you don't have to worry about
be on disability and be on a limited income. I want to get out there and work and make a living and
well, disability may be a limit. It may be limiting on your income, but you are still allowed to. You're still allowed to earn money while you're disabled. So
no, you're not.
Yes, you are. I've been on disability for 8 years, sir.
Right now, and they're taking money away from him for every dime that his wife makes off of his disability. So don't tell me he must
not be on disability. He must be on SSI. He must be on SSI because I have a job. I earn money. I show it to the government, and they don't take any of my money. Yes, sir. I've been on disability since 2008.
Okay. I guess that apparently but his is, but he's getting penalized. I don't want to be on something where I can be penalized.
That's different. That's
and not
SSI.
to mention, I prefer to work for my money. I prefer to earn it. I don't want it given to me. I'm able to work.
Nobody wants it given to them. Nobody wants it given to them. But if you're sick and those kinds of things, if you can't wear a mask to work, it's preventing you from working, and that would qualify you for disability.
Okay. OSHA law states that you're only required to wear a mask where masks are required, and masks even say on the box that they're not going to protect you from getting the virus. And If you're trying to tell me that a virus has a 14-day incubation period that's so smart, can affect hundreds that go to churches, gyms, and hair salons, but doesn't bother anybody at Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot, man, that's a smart bug. And not to mention, if you have any kind of virus in the respiratory system, you're going to feel it. You can't tell me you're not going to know you have it and spread it. Come on now.
No, wait.
People are asymptomatic all over the world.
So you're one of these people that
prove it. When the test they're using isn't the guy that won the Nobel Prize for it states that it is being used inaccurately for the test. Tell me how these false positive, false negatives, forging the numbers by giving people that have died in car crashes and clear underlying causes of death, but still listed as COVID, and the coroner's refusing to change the death certificate.
Well, there are actually people out there dying from COVID. I lost my uncle this.
And there are people that have clear underlying causes or weak immune system, or they're already sick. That's the people that are dying from this. And right now, this shouldn't even be spreading because it's not flu season, which the coronavirus is technically anything
that's not true.
Though. There are lots of people that are very healthy that died from COVID through this whole episode.
Show me the real, actual scientific proof.
Well, my uncle is one of them. I mean, he was in pretty good health up until he got COVID, and that
they put him on a vent. And they put him on a vent.
They sure did.
That's what killed him. It's not when you go into a vent, they put you in a comatose state, and with the decreased lung capacity. Trust me, I know what it's like going on a vent. I've been on one. It sucks, and it's not worth. And with my lung capacity being as it is right now, it would kill me.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go on the vent, and I'm not going to follow.
I don't know that that's any. I don't know that that's really evidence either.
The CDC states that it's 0.26 fatality rate. That is below and right in line with the influenza, and they're using the word pandemic. If you look up the definition of pandemic, means it's the virus has reached every continent of the planet. Period. The word that you have to use is epidemic, and if you look up in order to establish a state of an emergency using an health as an epidemic, it has to meet certain guidelines. It has to be above and exceed the hospital's capacity to handle the patients. In other words, those hospitals had to be overwhelming with patients to the point where they have nowhere else to put them. I've been to so many hospitals and they're all empty.
Do you know why?
Yeah, because they're saying stay at home, social distancing. Because it's not killing the people as many as the people as they're saying it is. Because they're fudging the numbers in order to get the numbers that high.
They're not fudging the numbers, Sunshine. The bottom line.
CNN on CNN News.
All right, this is getting out of hand.
Hang on. Just listen to me. Listen to me, okay? Just listen.
Sorry. Morgan,
all right?
Sorry.
The reason the hospitals are supposedly empty is, number one, COVID is an ICU. There's only so many beds in ICU. The reason the hospital is empty is because.
Excuse me.
In a
situation of an emergency.
Would you please just
finish?
Just
let her finish, and then you can retort. That's how it works.
The reason the majority of the hospitals are not full is because elective surgery has been cancelled. Now, the COVID comes under ICU.
Pandemic.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Dude, Dragon, please let someone finish talking, and then you can retort. That's how we're doing this. We're trying to be as respectful as possible. We're allowing you time to speak. All we ask is that you allow us that same opportunity. Okay, sir?
So it has reached every continent in the world. It is a pandemic. It has massive. It spreads faster than the flu, as we have seen. There is more asymptomatic contagion. What are you laughing at, dickhead?
Oh my God, it spreads faster than the flu. Oh my God, that's so funny. Have you guys looked up the patent code for it? This virus? There's a U.S. patent for it. Have you
The
looked it
patent
up?
code, the patent code is for vaccines.
No, there's a U.S. patent for the virus
The
itself.
patent, yes, so that they can make the vaccine.
You realize in order to make a patent for it, they have to manufacture it. They have to alter it from its natural form.
Jesus! It is for the vaccine. It is to make the vaccine. Do you understand that they can't make the virus?
All right. Do you know how long this virus has been around? They applied for a patent for this virus in 2006. If it's a novel coronavirus that disappeared in 2019, how do we have it from 2006?
You do realize there are different types of COVIDs, don't you?
No, not when you can look at them under the microscope and be identical.
You know that there are different types, strains of COVID.
Yeah, Morgan, you're wasting your time.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, you go and believe in La La Land, sunshine, and we'll be very happy to watch you get arrested.
Wow.
Hey, we tried to be really nice.
No, you did. You did. Well, I mean, look, here's the thing. I think if he wouldn't have been talking over people, I think it would have been different. But he refused to abide by not talking over people. And I'm really sorry, guys, that you guys were talked over like that.
No problem, Kenny. He believes in bulldozing. That's to get his point across.
He's passionate.
It's fine, but it's like I'm sorry about that, guys, because I know I was trying to get you guys to be nice, but then he wasn't playing by the rules either. You guys played by the rules. You guys waited your turn until he wouldn't stop, and you guys had to get your point across. So that was interesting. There's nothing wrong with being a COVID denier. Obviously, I mean, everyone could think whatever they want. He believes there's a patent for it. I mean, fine. I don't see it that way. I do know that there are many strands of coronavirus. Dogs carry it around all the time. I mean, there's different levels of it. It's just wow. Extortion Watchers, you've been really quiet. What do you think?
I've just been chilling.
Are
my
you
views on the post office and everything already. So,
are you a COVID denier too, Extortion Watchers?
Oh, I don't pay nothing attention to COVID.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, K Adams, he has a channel. It was like Dragon. What do you say? Dragonfire.
Dragonfire something, South Carolina.
Yeah, something like that.
Of course, you all realize who the first Dragonfire was and where he's sitting presently.
Yeah, federal prison.
No, he's incarcerated. I don't think he's in a federal prison.
Federal charges, isn't it?
Yeah, but they don't know. Well, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't go that far into it. I know some people know exactly where he's sitting because it's available online.
Right? Denying COVID is like denying HN1. That's completely true. Yeah, so anyway, that was fun.
Chauncey Robert, otherwise known as
That's what I thought it was.
Guardian Master was another moniker.
Hey, I see Extra Good Citizen in the chat. I'm wondering if he ever got his trespass removed from the city of Leon Valley.
Oh, I don't know. Did you, EGC? And Peachy's in the chat as well.
Hi, Peachy.
Hi, Peachy.
Desert Sentinel, we would like your expert opinion on what's his face? Dragonfire. You came in like right in the middle of all that. They tried.
Yes. Yeah, to coin a phrase, DS, come on down.
On Desert Sentinel or anybody, or May or Taze, whatever. You guys can. Oh, he said he's still working on it, Teresa.
You know, I don't really like you too much, but I don't know how they can trespass you from going to public meetings, except that I understand that the original trespass had something to do with the public meeting. So I think that's where you might have a problem. But I'm not a big fan of people being trespassed from public meetings. I think that's BS.
All right, so he's still here. There it is, Dragonfire News, South Carolina. That's the channel. And he's posting the patent for the corona. U.S. patent 2006-257-852, applied for in 2006 vaccine for COVID. Patent number AP3172319B1, applied for in 2014, approved in 2019. Okay, you see, that doesn't prove anything. It doesn't say COVID-19. There are many strains of COVID, Dragonfire. I don't think you're understanding that.
That's
you're not
one.
in a public forum and a traditional public forum and a non-traditional public forum. I'm thinking that's the one that's you don't want to buy that, which is another reason why you're not really listening to us when we're talking about the different strains of coronavirus there.
Let's look at another individual. Last year sometime, a young man came into one of the servers in Discord asking for some advice because he wanted to start doing auditing and cop watching. And he listened for a little while. He was given advice from all sorts of people. Some of them were auditors, some of them were cop watchers, some of them weren't. And he eventually told everybody to take a long walk off a short pier. And the last I heard, he's been trespassed from near a dozen post offices.
Who are you talking about?
Who's that? Minnesota Guardian?
You got it.
Oh, yeah. Poor thing.
The arrogance of youth, I suppose, but we told
tried
him
real
what would
hard with
happen.
him. Yeah, we tried real hard with him.
But then
I
again,
wish he'd go to college.
But then again, Ian was his mentor. So what did you expect?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they got to him early.
Right.
Well, like I say, the two towns that passed those ordinances, if that's an indication of what the future lies, good luck.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just any of these auditors that go in and do it for the sake of filming and just to rouse everyone. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. More cities are going to come up with these type of ordinances, and it's just going to make it harder on the people that are actually trying to get something done. That they're going there because the government, they need to redress their grievances because the government's fucking with them. Because let's be honest, the government fucks with people on occasion. So I mean,
like everything else, police are human. Like everything else, politicians are human.
Absolutely.
And the interesting thing is, I've got 545 municipalities in my state, and I'm one of the smaller states.
Jeez.
Just to clarify, that patent that he put up is actually for SARS, which the 2006 was what I thought it was.
So that's really funny. Dragonfire, did you hear that? You're quoting the wrong patent. So there's that.
Well, whichever. And I wonder if he knows that there's a update on the DHS memo.
Oh, look, we have Chicago in the house. What's up, Auditing Chicago?
It's still a COVID, but yeah, it's for SARS. It's not for the current one.
No, okay. I think he finished high school, Ima. I think he finished in he's saying that he was kicked out of high school. I think maybe he was kicked out of high school, but he finished in an alternative program.
I have a question. Audit Chicago, I've been seeing a lot of audits. You are in Sacramento County. Is this true? Are you in Sacramento County now indefinitely, or is this just some extended road trip?
Yeah, JTL, I don't know about you, but I've got a unredacted copy of both versions. You just have to look.
And there's a typical auditor answer right there. I don't answer questions. Okay, whatever. You don't have to. I was just curious, man. It's I've seen some of your videos and I've noticed you were in Rancho Cordova. So I was just curious. Then when you got arrested, when your wife or girlfriend got arrested, and you kept talking about how click that like button when your wife got arrested, which I still think is kind of funny. You were in Sacramento too, so I'm just curious if you're in Sacramento or not. Because if you are, man, we could have a one-on-one.
Yeah, and there's a couple of gentlemen that I can think of offhand. One was kept claiming that he couldn't be trespassed from a public space. He was, and then he lost his case. Whether he's appealing it or not, I don't know. And there's another gentleman that's been trespassed from every municipal property in his town.
Oh wow, okay.
PDF, poor guy, he got sprayed with spray paint.
Yeah, it's the one.
Did y'all see that video?
I've heard enough about it to visualize it.
Besides spray paint and Windex, I think a new weapon against these auditors is the hose. I'm sorry, Gordy, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I saw that. That was kind of funny.
And I've seen pieces of that one.
Then you saw what happened with Silence Boy. Someone actually started playing music while he was auditing to get the channel to get the video demonetized, which I think more people should start doing. It's nonviolent and it's a good way to at least it wouldn't be doing it for the clicks and views anymore if their videos were demonetized. So you would see auditors are actually in it for the cause as opposed to the money.
Did anyone here watch the potato with that latest church?
With the guy to his
Sorry.
stuff.
No.
Well, he was confronted by a whole group of people.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
over
the
the weekend.
potato. Did she get assaulted?
Very close to it. Well, that's the thing. In New Jersey, that would be an assault, but she wasn't battered.
There was a bunch of Trump supporters and a couple of white supremacists having a go at Gavin Newsom for closing the churches down or something like that. And they were
There was a
protesting.
protest over the closing of the churches.
That's it. Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was changing the subject. I'm so sorry. I thought you were finished.
No, it's a question in my mind that I am really surprised none of them actually did not go physical with him, even after the threat of him using the pepper spray. And I'll tell you this, I don't know whether he'd made it get out of there alive had he used that pepper spray.
He is going to find the wrong person, and he is going to get beaten to a pulp. And that I would even pay his admission fee on his channel to see that.
Well, isn't that what most of these people are doing with their donations? They're hoping and praying that happens.
Yeah,
they're financing a beatdown.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what's going to happen, because the public are getting fed up with them, and they're confronting them more and more and more. Mm-hmm. So I think it's not far off.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I do think it's not far off at all. People are starting to get tired of the way some of these frauditors are behaving themselves, especially Furry Potato, especially going to the religious centers, the private businesses. It still kills me. Furry Potato, a veteran, going to a veteran-owned business and then just harassing them. That was despicable. It was ridiculous.
Excuse me, Kenny, has his service been corroborated?
I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I think Master Report is trying to get some basic information, because the only way they would really be able to do it is like with the DD-214, but they can't get it because
DD-214 is private to the individual. Unless you have written permission from them, you'll never get it.
Right, exactly. You're never going to get that from Furry at all. So,
but of course, we know that the National Archives will give us military history on anybody that's served,
Yeah,
as long as we have the correct information.
Yeah, if you have the correct information and where they were inducted, yeah.
Yep.
They won't give us a DD 214, but they'll give us the records.
Yeah, I know somebody that's done that.
No, I'm not even sure. Like, I think Rice Krispie was another one that people thought was fraudulent. He didn't serve or something like that, or somehow he got the reason he got out, his release was in question or whatnot. I'm a firm believer of, as long as it's not a dishonorable discharge, to me it's all good. There's nothing wrong with a general discharge, in my opinion.
Well, the funny thing is, I've got two different versions. I've got an active duty DD 214, and I've got one from the New York Air National Guard.
Oh, geez, wow, nice.
There is a rumor. There is a rumor, and it is alleged. Hello? It is alleged that Ferry got done for sexual harassment while in the service, but it's alleged. I don't know whether or not it's true.
Well, the same thing's alleged of Monkey 83, but does anybody have proof?
Well, he's got a, and that came from somebody who knew him.
Okay. So, Diver, you said you did two. What did you notice the differences between the two services that you did go through? I'm just curious.
I haven't looked at them in almost a year. I took them out earlier this year or last year to get my county card that gives me discounts at certain things, and gets me onto the. I think it'll get me for nothing, but I haven't tested it. But no, I know they're different. I know the state one's not called the DD 214.
Okay. When did you? What years did you serve? If you don't mind me asking.
76 to 77 active, 78, excuse me. 76 to 78 active, 78 to 80 in the, 82 in the New York Air National Guard.
Well, I just want to say thank you for your service, man. It's always good to meet fellow veterans and hear their stories and stuff like that, because, man, it's everyone's story is different. Man.
Yeah, well, I was an in-betweener. I was too young by a year for Vietnam, and although my draft card says 1A, and I was out well before Desert Storm.
Okay.
Hell, I was out before Panama.
All right. So, any of the auditors that are in chat, we got like 3 right now. Any of y'all are more than welcome to come on and we can have a conversation. I mean, it could be about whatever. If you're gonna talk about how much we're trolls, we're more than welcome to have a conversation about us being trolls. I'm okay with it.
Come troll us.
Now, see, the funny thing is, both Teresa and I back ourselves up with documents, and it's kind of hard to argue that.
Don Shipley can get a hold of DD-214s and he will verify to check for stolen valor. I don't know who Don Shipley is.
He's a guy.
I don't think he gets DD 214s. He gets military records from the National Archives.
Yeah, he's got a database of seals. That's what he works on. Kenny, you're lagging again, darling.
Oh, am I? Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
no, I do know that. Yeah, I was going to say, every step I took in the Air National Guard, I got closer to the front line, and I was communications in the Air Force.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, no, Joe, I don't know who Don Shipley is. Well, that's a good citizen. Come on now. To be fair, you should have known that you're not going to be able to reason with some people in here. We all think a certain way in here, and you're just not going to. I mean, when you come in here, that's what it's all about. I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise.
Kenny's very fair.
I try to be. I try to be. I try to be. But yeah, Auditing Chicago, Miss Child, you guys are more than welcome to come out. We can even have Adam come up here, and you guys can have your little argument out here, whatever. I mean, we could do this. I'm actually curious because I like talking to different auditors. I don't know what you guys. You guys like talking to different auditors?
I do it almost daily.
Nice. So, who are some auditors that you've talked to and tried to preach a little knowledge to that were not very no, how about some that were receptive to it? There's a good question.
Batusai, Bunny Boots.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like Batusai. He's a good auditor. What about Morgan? Have you seen any auditors that are receptive to what you say?
Yeah, we seem to have gotten a CFW coming around a little bit, but she's so flighty, I can't guarantee what's going on with her. There's a few that have taken on what we've said and changed to MOs. It still doesn't always get them out of trouble, but they seem some of them are getting into less trouble than they did. They're not. I think a lot of them are actually starting to do a bit more research and learning the law a little better because we had that plethora of arrests for a while, and then we don't seem to be getting as many arrests as we used to. So, and they're a lot quieter because I think they're actually realising that what they're doing. There seems to be a fair few that have disappeared, and I think a lot of them are realising that it really is not worth getting all these shitty little misdemeanor trespassing laws against your record if you want to work.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Teresa?
I really am sort of excited about Caroline and Fort Worth kind of coming around. And I enjoy talking to auditors either way. I don't always get along with them, but I do my best, to give them as best advice as I can give them, and it's always coming from the heart. I mean, I don't want, just like this other guy that was up here earlier, whatever his name was, he's just another long line of faces that we've seen and heard the same sort of thing from. But, I don't wish him anything bad. I don't want him not to be able to film and do his thing and maybe have a little blog or whatever he wants to do, but I don't want to see him get arrested inside of a building. I know how much it costs. I know how shitty it is to sit in jail for 16 hours waiting for somebody to bail you out. I know how shitty it is, to have to go to court. I know, and it's not worth it.
Yeah, definitely. And I do hope he stops with the post offices, and I hope he starts doing more cop watching. I think he'd find people would be a little bit more agreeable to that as long as he's not going the Josh route when he does his cop watching. If he does more of the like Esther Goodison talks about doing, being a fly on the wall when he does his cop watches, I think he'll find that more people will come around to his way of thinking. But I don't think it's going to be hardly anyone in this chat because of all of the crazy things he was saying in here. Oh yeah, but that's completely different from his auditing, though, or cop watching, I should say.
They want to believe in They want to believe in the fairy tale. They want to believe in the magic words. They want to think that they can stand in there and do whatever they want, and these magic words are going to save them. And sometimes you just can't convince them that it's a fairy tale.
Or the magical camera is just going to make the police stop arresting them. It's like, I pulled out a camera, so now you can't arrest me, so you guys got to watch what you're doing. Well, if it's an illegal arrest, they're still going to arrest you if it's illegal. I mean, camera's not going to stop it.
Or they call them bogus charges.
Yeah. Anytime a cop follows them or does something, and when they do something stupid after they leave a cop and the cop catches them, they're trying to get back at me, it's retaliation. And no, that's not always necessarily the case. It's not always retaliation. Oh, we have someone coming on. It is Mrs. J. Damn it, Mrs. J, you had me excited thinking it was one of the auditors.
Yeah, right. I have one question for everybody on the panel. Did that guy sound like a savsit to you, or what?
Did you hear his remark when I called him one? Actually, I didn't
Yeah.
call him one. I said you're sounding like.
Well, all of us in the live chat were calling him a savsit.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, you guys are pretty freaking brutal in the live chat.
Oh, he had to make up for you guys being nice.
Well, I've
Oh,
always said reality bites.
dude.
I just have to outrun you.
He's definitely got the YouTube lawyer thing down pat.
Oh goodness.
God.
He will not and traditional public forum and non-traditional public forum. But then he brought it up himself. So that's what I was floored when he brought it up and then didn't want to even acknowledge it. It was ridiculous.
Well, when he thinks that public platform, you can go into anywhere you want. Oh, jeez.
And you bring up poster 7, and he still had to cherry pick it.
Well, no, yeah. And then he brought the VHS memo, and the VHS memo pretty much says the exact same thing. And it's like, well, you're missing the first part there. Yes, it says you could film, but there's a but. There's a but there.
And he just totally denied the fact that every different federal agency has their own rules, because every different federal agency has their own code of federal regulations dealing with their properties.
Why do they think rules and regulations are not law when don't they have to be like enacted by the government?
Well, I hate to tell you, the Code of Federal Regulations goes through a public process of proposal, public comment, and final proposal. And even after that, if they get enough public comment, they will change it. And if they've discussed it, of course, with the proper legal authorities to make sure that what they're proposing as a regulation is legal and constitutional. Believe me, it's an involved process. I know because my handwriting's on a couple of them.
Is this the reason why when I mention adding to the Constitution, because let's face it, when the Constitution was written, there weren't video cameras, there weren't auditors.
But that's why we have SCOTUS.
Okay, so but that does override the Constitution in a way, or it clarifies it.
Like all judges, they are there. They're the highest court in the land. They are created by the Constitution. They interpret the whatever regulation or law or code that comes before them in a lawsuit. They determine whether it is or is not constitutional. The only way you can amend the Constitution is to go through a huge process, which is written in the Constitution, and you'll notice it hasn't been done for an awful long time.
No. They want to do it for the 20th Amendment to get for some election spending. I think is a really good idea, but do you think they'd be too tempted to try and change other aspects of it if they did call a constitutional convention?
You can't hold one right now because of the pandemic.
Does anybody remember the last amendment that they tried to enact? It's the Equal Rights Amendment.
Yeah. The civil rights, yeah.
It was the Equal Rights Amendment they tried to.
Equal rights. Sorry.
Yeah, they tried to enact that and fought with it for a couple of years, but they weren't able to garner enough states, I guess, to be a part of whatever they needed to. I'm not exactly sure what the whole process involves.
It's a percentage of the both houses have to agree to even hold the convention.
My guess is, though, that after this next election, if certain people are voted out, you might see changes.
It doesn't really matter who's in office. It's Congress that makes the decisions on what laws get written and what laws get passed on to the president's desk, and then he has a limited amount of authority to veto it. But even then, they can override the president if they want. And then if somebody challenges it all the way up to the Supreme Court, it can be declared unconstitutional. That's why we have checks and balances. That's one of the beauties of our Constitution.
Yep, that is. It's one of the things. It's one of the things that our founding fathers made sure that they incorporated, so we could redress our grievances and get things changed that we wanted to get changed as time changed, because they did realize that things were going to change. It wasn't going to stay the same, which is why they have the checks and balances in. So
Yeah, well, if you study the history of the redress of the U.S. government, you'll find we almost completely have lost it shortly after the Civil War, and there's reasons for it. But yeah, what you have up there in the StreamYard is absolutely true. Uh, SCOTUS hasn't ruled on photography at all or recording. But what has been done is there have 6 circuit courts of appeals in this country have ruled on it, luckily in favor of recording. And oddly enough, it's all the odd numbered circuits. Don't ask me why. It's just that's kismet.
I heard you say something like that, and that is really crazy just to think that's all the odd number ones.
Yeah, there's nothing stranger than reality.
Yeah, definitely. That's crazy. Oh man. Yeah, guys, please go ahead and hit that like button or hit the dislike button if you feel the need to. That's fine too. Also,
Yeah,
guys,
YouTube doesn't care which one you hit. All they look at is participation.
also I have a bunch of people in here. I was initially trying to go live on my backup channel, but only like one person showed up because I think I only have like 57 people subscribed there. So anyway, if you guys could please subscribe to my backup channel, it's KKTV Productions. I want to start doing more stuff on there. I want to start doing lives on there. So uh, please subscribe to it so that way you'll get notifications when I go live on there or when I drop a video on there. So just if you could, please, that would be awesome. If not, that's okay too. Whatever. Just thought I'd give you guys a heads up about that.
Is that your Discord or is that on YouTube?
No, that's my backup channel. KKTV Productions.
No, I thought that was your your new
No, the Discord is
Discord channel.
TV Friends of the Show. That's the Discord.
I'm all confused.
Okay, righty.
Yeah, so still
He's got one. He's got a Discord. He's got a Discord. Yeah, he's got a Discord for his channel.
Yeah, just started Discord. So all of you guys are welcome to the Discord as well. Even you guys, like Chicago, Extra Good Citizen, if you guys have Discord, you guys are more than welcome to. Sure. Whatever, anybody. We'll talk about whatever.
Yeah. Hey, Teresa, did you see Ian is changing his plea?
Oh, is he?
I saw that he had signed some papers that said he was ready to make a plea or to change his plea, but he did that one time, went to court, and when he got there, he didn't do what he said he was going to do. Remember?
Yeah, but I mean I saw the document. I don't know if you did or not. And
I did. I saw it. I'm just. I'll believe it when he does it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I feel the same way. Come the 25th, we'll find out.
He's a bit of a, waffler.
So when is Ian? So Ian's next court date is when?
I think the next one's the 25th
of this month.
Yep.
When's Josh going? When's Josh in Mass court, or even Indiana? Yeah,
So
McGuire.
my understanding is that he may have court tomorrow. I think it's August the 13th that he has a court hearing to see if he can get travel plans. It's either the 13th or the 17th. Anyway, he that's in Indiana. so he can get the travel plans or travel release to be able to travel back to the other state to answer to those charges.
Oh, Jesus. Because wasn't he supposed to be?
He's
Was
got
it, was
Yes.
yeah, he's got a hearing on the 13th.
in Indiana? So they moved. So they moved the
maybe the court date for the one in Massachusetts is on the 13th and the other one's on the 17th before he can get to see the.
Wherever
I don't know. There's an
Madison
issue with
is.
that. There's an issue with being able to get the travel permission before the court, his next court date in Massachusetts.
I thought his Mass one was 7th to 8th, and they must have changed it so he could go down to Indiana.
I probably have all these dates wrong in my head, but I know that he hasn't moved. He's still waiting for him. He hasn't gone to any court dates in Massachusetts. I don't know that they've changed anything. I hadn't heard that. And I know that he has a court date coming up very soon. Maybe it's tomorrow to get the travel permission or to get some motion to the judge for travel.
It's Thursday. Yeah, he's got a lobby conference on the 28th in Middlesex, and I'm assuming that's Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Middlesex.
I don't know what this Madison thing is.
Madison's Indiana.
Okay, so yeah, he's got a hearing on Thursday to get permission to go to his court date in Massachusetts. He's getting as bad as Eric Brandt.
Did you see him having another go at another cop in Indiana? He supposedly has found another cop that's been disciplined by this group that started this originally. It turns out that the guy it's a charge that relates back to a case in 2002 before he was even a cop. But he's trying to spin it that this police department is so corrupt, etc., etc., etc.
He's just digging himself a hole.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to bury him. They are going to fucking bury him.
Oh, he's got so many cases from like 2013, 11 in that same county for speeding. Do you see how many speeding cases he had in the county before this, the one he has now? He's got like.
We've lost you, Kenny. We've lost you, Kenny.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
He had a lot of speeding cases in Indiana. What was the reason he lost his license?
Child support, non-payment of child support.
Oh, okay. Well, he's making 120. Shouldn't he be able to pay that off now?
Well, he's begging for hotel money at the moment, so obviously he can't even afford that.
Yeah, that's true.
Is he there alone, or does he have somebody with him?
He's there alone, but he's with Chuck Bronson and that idiot Hoosier News Now, and the other idiot Santa Claus.
The Street News or whatever his name is.
Yeah, and Floyd. Floyd's down there. He's been trying to get Floyd killed.
Absolutely, he has. Absolutely. Here, I got a question for the auditors in the room. You guys know what the Third Amendment is, right? Out in Chicago, you know what the Third Amendment is? And if you do, how is someone being out in the streets being stopped by the cops a Third Amendment violation? What about you, Extra Citizen? Yeah, it's going off. They're just fighting in chat. Okay.
Fight.
Yeah, it's the Quartering Act, right?
Good citizen.
It prevents the Quartering Act.
Yeah, but everyone's good buddy, Josh Abrams, seems to think it applies to public streets. Josh Abrams said that.
Yes, but Josh is a lunatic.
Josh is a moron.
That too.
Said that.
Well, you got to remember now. You got to get a preface or say after it. In my humble opinion.
Oh, sorry. In my humble opinion, Josh is a moron.
That.
Well, wait a minute. You're in Australia. You don't count.
All right.
That'd be a hell of an expensive extradition.
We've done it before.
Taze, how many more people have to say your name in their sleep to satisfy your vengeance? Did you see what he said in the chat?
No, what did he say?
He said, auditing Chicago is getting tired of hearing Amy say his name in her sleep.
I'm sorry. I'm having fun with somebody on Discord.
Oh yeah, guys, make sure you join the Discord too. Join all. Does Teresa? Do you have a Discord?
I do have a little Discord, but I just keep memes and whatever you call them, gifs and stuff there.
Okay. Make sure you guys sub to so that she has some good content on her channel. And I keep waiting for Diver to start making a bunch of videos because I'll totally watch every single one of them.
It happened.
I want to see his underwater videos.
Yeah, if I could get my player working, I might be able to digitize them. I've got quite a bit.
Yeah, I want to see his Rex and stuff like that.
Would you rather see me riding a manta ray?
Why not?
What about you, Morgie? When are you going to start a channel?
I'm on here, but I'm not doing channels.
Okay.
I just like participating in panels.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
I wanna ask EGC what he plans on doing about being trespassed from public meetings at Leon Valley. If he's going to just let that happen, or if him and Justin Pulliam are going to just drive around and that's going to fix it, or if they're actually going to unask some money and hire a lawyer and sue them.
Yeah, the whole Leon Valley thing. I wasn't cool. I mean, I didn't agree with what how it originally started with what's his face. I can never remember this cat's name. Padilla.
Padilla.
Yeah, Padilla. There we go. He was an idiot. He was back there, and yeah, that was all wrong. But the way that they just started arresting people for no reason out in the street, that was just. I thought in my opinion, they were abusing their power at that moment. I really did. That shouldn't have happened, and it does kind of show. To me, it does kind of look like there is some corruption in Leon Valley. That's to me. That's what I think about that whole thing. Just after seeing all the videos that I did see.
Well, and I mean, with what's going on with the city right now, and that no one's bothered to sue them, and that they're just driving around and just bitching and moaning about it, that's not going to fix anything. That's going to keep you kicked out of the meeting. What you need to do is you need to unask some money and give it to an attorney, and you just need to sue the fuck out of them. That's what you need to do. You need to quit driving around bitching about it, and you need to sue them.
No, I'm not. That's not going to work. It will.
They can't just kick him out of a public meeting. I don't give a shit how big of a piece of shit he is. They can't do that. No, he hasn't done anything to be kicked out. And you do have a right in the state of Texas to attend a public meeting. That is one of your rights as a citizen there.
Oh yeah, you can attend. They don't need to put up with your bullshit though. And if you've already
But they don't have any bullshit to complain about with him. That's the problem.
But if you've been previously trespassed from that building, which is
right.
I think
he was trespassed. Well, what he said is that he was arrested, and with the arrest came a trespass.
Okay, so
they haven't released the trespass, but they have dropped the charges. So,
but the trespass stands. So therefore, he can't. They're perfectly within their rights not to allow him into that building if he's been trespassed.
I don't think they are.
If they drop the charges and have nothing to hold him on, The trespass may be moot. It's all in whether or not he wants to fight it and get it dropped. And again, needs a lawyer and a court case.
What's not going to fix it is driving around bitching and moaning. That's
Yeah.
not going to fix it. It's not going to work in any scenario. It's not. You need to unask some money, maybe some of the money you stole from that woman, and hire a lawyer.
Ouch.
That was lovely jab, darling. Lovely jab.
Just for the record. All right. So, do we have any final questions for anybody on the panel here? Everyone on the chat, or anyone on the panel have any final thoughts they would like to bring up? Extortion watchers, you?
I don't have any thoughts.
All right. What about you, Diver?
I'm good. Trying to educate somebody over on Discord.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
This gentleman, I think I can get across.
No, okay.
I'm sorry?
I said okay.
Morgie?
No, I'm fine. I'm just still amazed that there are people that still believe everything that these YouTube frauditors come up with. That's all. Yeah.
Well, like I said, when we came out, I thought we were going to have a good conversation, and it just went south in a hurry.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting how he has emphysema, and he's also hard of hearing, and it amazes me how many ailments these the frauditors seem to have. It's always amazes me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got a lot of ailments, but I tried to point him in the direction of an ADA lawyer and get him on disability, and he doesn't want to have any part of that.
Which makes me think.
Like I said, while he's on disability, yeah, you can't have a full-time job. Have a part-time job and still be on SSI or SDI, and he just didn't know that.
And even if he has emphysema, a mask doesn't stop you from breathing unless you would actually be on oxygen, as far as I can see. So unless you have to have an oxygen mask to breathe because of your emphysema, then I could understand. But you'd be running around with a oxygen tank on your scooter probably, because if you were that bad, you wouldn't be that mobile. You wouldn't be able to move much.
It's just amazing though that he's still able to audit.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever it is.
And run his own business.
Yeah, and without a mask, and running the risk of catching it and spreading it, and an idiot. He's an idiot. Who was it? Oh, VF. VF had a video today, and it started out with the definition of stupid.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, then the definition of idiot, which is stupid. Yeah, that guy was stupid. I'm sorry, he was an idiot.
Yeah, that was a good video. I love that.
All right, Teresa, you have any final comments?
I think I probably filled y'all's head with enough of my comments. Nothing further.
All right, Mrs. J.
No, I just had the one question to ask, and thank you for allowing me on the panel to ask it.
Oh, no problem. Everyone, make sure you guys check out Extortion Watchers. He's the auditor. Let him know what you guys think of what he's doing. I'm sure he would appreciate some feedback. Make sure you guys check out Diver whenever he goes on a panel. He's always got some informational things to say, and I learn something new every time I see him on a panel. Morgan as well. And make sure you guys check out Teresa as well. Go ahead and sub to her. And check out Dragonfire. Let him know what you guys think about how he does his spot watching and his auditing and thing. But be a little nice.
Yeah, might I make a plug?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, everybody should check out fanclub.com. F as in Frank, AANCLUB.com. It has a lot of information about your auditors, auditards, frauditors, and ascivists, and it also has a great document section.
Yeah, that's
I will
actually
do
where
it. Thanks.
I got a lot of stuff on Earl when I was stuff on Earl. I got it at Fan Club. So yeah, great site.
And I'll be adding more shortly. I'm trying to keep the Civil Rights Unites updated as well as a backup, so I'm busy.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Morgie, thank you. Diver, thank you, sir. Teresa, always a pleasure. Extortion Watchers, thanks. Miss J, as always, you're more than welcome. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks for everyone that showed up in chat. Thanks, Comfort Doll, Dave Peterson, Esther Good Citizen, Adam, Peachy, thank you, ma'am. Taze, thanks, sir. Robert Kasloff, Busy, May, Simon, Tim, Ime, Adam, Audit Chicago, Mrs. Audit Chicago, Jimmy Woods, Stahlberg, Josiah. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I'm butchered it, sorry. Busy, Catnat, Vlad, and anyone else I missed. You guys are more than welcome to join. And make sure you guys subscribe to my second channel. I'll be doing a lot more content on there. And hit a like and just sub to this channel. And I'll see you again with another video. All right, guys. Thanks.
Good night, everybody. Good night, Mr. J.
Good night.
Good morning, everyone.
No,
No, good morning.
I'm morning.
It's
Well,
almost
it's not
1:30.
here.